good afternoon. It's Wednesday the 27th of March. Haven't been around for a couple of weeks. Lots of things have been going on, which hopefully I'm going to tell you all about now. The first thing that I'm looking forward to telling you is on my last vlog I was saying I was going for a job interview. Well, very pleased to say that I got the job. It's a crisis workers role, just part-time, so it's going to work alongside my own business that I do. Really sort of enjoy the challenge of crisis work, and when this position came up it was too good not to apply for, so really pleased with that. So hopefully that's all going to be starting in the next couple of months. My journey to get to Stoke for my weight loss surgery is continuing. Obviously the last time we spoke they still hadn't found my file at Stoke, even though it was sent mid-February from Aintree. So more phone calls, backwards and forwards, and one of the second to last phone call I had with Stoke, the lovely secretary was searching the office and on the consultant's desk and everything and just couldn't find it. So she said, give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you. Well, a week transpired, and knowing how busy they are, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to give them another ring. And I spoke to a different lady this time who I explained everything that had been happening, and she said, right, leave it with me. I'll ring you back in an hour. And fair play, she did. And she said that they could not find my file anywhere. So as this was obviously late sort of Thursday afternoon, she would wait till the Friday and give Aintree a ring, speak to the dietitians, find out what's happened about my file, because they hadn't received it even though it had been sent sort of mid-February. So anyway, on the Friday she rang me back and said that they'd resent the file to her, and that they have now got it and the consultant's now going to look at it, and then I will be placed on a list for an appointment, which she then proceeded to tell me would be in 8 months' time. So working that out, that's going to be October before I even get an initial appointment. So understandably feeling quite sort of upset and almost demotivated really but she said not to worry, because I'd completed everything that I was asked of me from seeing the consultant, then they have a meeting like a couple of weeks later and then I should be listed. So I think the earliest, unless anything changes, it's going to be early 2019 before I actually get my op. So anyway, came off the phone, had a chat with a couple of friends and decided to give them another ring back and say, look, if any cancellations come, because I don't live too far from the hospital in Aintree, and what Stoke do, or they have been doing, and whether they'll continue to do it, is they come to Aintree to meet all the Aintree patients all in one go, and then they go back. So if anyone cancels sort of last minute, I would be able to then, you know, just whiz up to Aintree and see somebody. So hopefully that will be taken into consideration. But what I am going to do, rather than ring them every week, is almost ring them every month, every 6 weeks, just to check where I am on the list. I actually am on the list, the consultant's seen my file, and things are starting to move. The problem is, when nobody knows what is happening, it is that thing, how long is a piece of string? And the more you talk to people who are in the same situation as you, going to the same hospital, everyone is told a different story. I know of a lady whose file was transferred over in January. She's already seen the consultant. People are telling me there's only one surgeon at Stoke now. Then other people are telling me there's 3 or 4. So I think this sort of increases the anxiety level really of, you know, what is really happening. And it's a shame that we can't be given almost a timeline. I am back at Aintree to see the dietitians in May, hopefully, so I can tell them about that. I'm just going to open the door because the dogs are trying to get out. Won't be a moment. There you go. You're going out. Off you go. That's it. No doubt now they will bark to come back in. Okay. So yeah, so that's where I am with Stoke. So had a bit of a sulk about it all. The problem is, I think after having my sulk and doing the what ifs, if only like this time last year I agreed to actually having the op, or, you know, instead of waiting all this time, I could probably be having the op now. But knowing where my headspace was then and where it is now, it wouldn't have been a good idea to actually have my op last year. So yeah, it's all what ifs, and we can't live like that, as a friend of mine told me. So, you know, we've just got to deal with the cards that are given us at any one time. The thing that I've been really struggling with though is my eating. I think from when I was actually told, or once I'd made that decision, that I was going to have the bypass, and once I knew that my file had been sent, I almost went into, doesn't matter now, I can eat what I want, and because I'm going to have my bypass now, and that'll sort out my problems. And I think that is a dangerous road to go down, because since I last went to be weighed with the dietitian, which was, I think, January, I probably put half a stone on. But in total, really, since Christmas, I probably put a stone on, which, you know, is not good. And I know if I don't get this bit of weight off that I've put on, when I do get to see the consultant for Stoke, they're just going to go, no way, or go back and lose the weight. So that's going to delay it even more. So yeah, so my mood hasn't been good. I haven't been out running because obviously with running, when you put that bit of extra weight on it, it's tough at this size running anyway, but when you put a little bit more weight on, just even, you know, a few pounds, it really has an impact. And my back has been hurting, but do you know what? I've got a couple of really good girlfriends who, regardless, get me out. And I've decided now that I'm going to get out and run as far as I can and then walk the rest and just see where we do. Because in my infinite wisdom, after running the Great North Run last year, well, walk it, didn't run the whole thing, I'm doing it again this year. Last year I did it for kidney research for Dad, who unfortunately we lost to kidney and lung cancer in November last year. And I think also I'm still grieving. My eating isn't good. You know, when I'm grieving, we're trying to repress all those thoughts and feelings. It's just a learned behaviour pattern, isn't it? Food is our friend as well as our enemy. It gives us that hug when we want it. It sometimes is our friend. But ultimately, it's not a good pattern of behaviour, because it doesn't really give us friendship. It doesn't really give us love. What it does do is make us feel destructive. It makes us hate ourselves. Well, that's how it makes me feel. I know everyone out there might be different, but that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel unworthy. I start looking at myself in the mirror and just going, oh my God, what a big fat blob you are. And all those feelings were starting to come back, and that's why I was starting to eat a little bit more. But I think now the clocks have gone forward, it's getting lighter, I feel like I'm coming through things. Obviously now knowing that things are progressing at Stoke, knowing that any point in the next 8 months I could get a phone call to say, oh, we've had a cancellation, come and see the consultant. So I need to be at least back to my referral weight, which is like another half stone. But in reality, I want to lose a bit more, because it's going to make getting around that Great North Run, which is 13 0.1 miles, which is quite hilly in Newcastle. Yeah, it's going to make it tough. Anyone who is watching this and likes running, or even walk running, or could walk 13 miles, you know, wants to join us, we're running for Tommy's, feel free, get in touch, and maybe, you know, we can all support each other and meet up in Newcastle. That's an open invitation if anybody wants it. But yeah, so I'm having to pull myself together again. I also think not coming on here and vlogging, I've been hiding, because I think sometimes coming on here and saying it as it is, I have to face it. But it was part of my tier 3 condition that I had to go through therapy for my binge eating disorder. And we did a process of doing all sorts of like different maps of how we think and how we eat and how that impacts and those learned behaviour patterns. And we did our own maps, and we came home with our maps. And I've been sort of clearing out the junk room. There's still a bit more junk in there, but it's a lot better. And in clearing out this junk room, I found my maps again, and it was good to look at them. In fact, if you hang on, I'll pause and I'll find one of my maps and I'll show it you.